Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here? Well, it's about time. Just show us your pass and you can be on your way. Uh-huh. Sure you did. Don't even try getting through this checkpoint without approval. We're low on everything but bullets. What did I tell you? Unless you got approval, you can make like a sprat and skedaddle.
Oh, there's work all right. The Marshal told us not to turn anyone useful away, and left us to interpret what that means.
Then again, what are the odds that an automechanical repair technician just happens by in a time of war? How do we know you aren't a spy from Auntie's Choice? Yeah, I'm not buying it. Don't even try getting through this checkpoint without approval. We're low on everything but bullets.
Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's Choice? Remember, Auntie knows best.
Ah, hell. I've stood this post so many times I could do it in my sleep.
Mind you don't let the bosses upstairs hear you say that.
Engaging.
Well, it's locked and loaded. Just get the signal. Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this war.
All's ready.
I'll take fighting rats in real estate any day.
Stay as tough as you've got. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed. No, he ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Met no offense, you ain't one of Auntie's, and from the look of things, the Protectorate here didn't put up much of a fight. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Oh, that's a high-profile target. Huh. If she entrusted that to you, then I reckon we're on the same side. Or something like it. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milver Street of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Sorry. Guess I'm just used to folks staring real hard and then steering clear. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. But I started from nothing before. I could do it again. Maybe. Ain't easy moving between companies, and I wasn't always with Auntie's choice. But that's a story for another time. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the wraps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Commencing combat-related activity.
What did I tell you? Unless you got approval, you can make like a sprat and skedaddle.
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for uranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything that can't...
Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of uranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Uranium poisoning? Only in that case, but the doctors are withholding treatment as studies have done.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Uranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the uranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with uranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Not sure. We should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You would imagine so, wouldn't you? Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to gild his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected.
me!
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse.
any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, now, report to Marshal Donaldson if you...
What can I do for you this time? Seeing as you're the maker, and be careful with that terminal. We don't want to...
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
I'll take care of him, Commander. What in the where now?
done. The Zeranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. The damage must have been more advanced than we thought. I knew I should have pushed the repairs earlier. Sure, a few may have died, but the mission might still have been salvaged. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks and worse will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions.
Oh, what's this? Non-protectorate personnel just sauntering up onto my porch, free as they please. Admit I'm accustomed to a higher standard of precaution. State your purpose, outsider, or exit yon way you came. Ah, I see you've discovered some of my misappropriated materials. Careful labeling proves prudent and useful yet again. Here, for your effort. A full set of Science Adventures Quarterly was stolen from me and sold to various unknown parties across the island. Since you've already proven adept at their repossession, I would put it to you to locate the rest. In exchange, I will provide you with rarities and bits. Ah, quite right. In fact, delightful. I am pleased you are on the case, as it were. So very Zane and Buddy. Return again when you have another 4 volumes, and I will trade them for more valuable oddities. Stay true, outsider.
You can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the protector folks resent us liberating.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here?
Honest to goodness broadcasting.
Been working at that spot of business we discussed. Easier to lead with fewer targets nibbling at your psyche. Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report?
Threat assessors have adjusted their risk tables for the Arbiter training facility.
Just that Milver Street requested her presence for some mission. Normally I'd demand to be paid, but I was just glad to get her some work. Trooper Sealong was one of my best enhanced soldiers, but never took to her grafts. Been uncertain what I could rely on her for. So Milver Street holds her contract. At least for now. Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a Spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, I'll give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.
Plant gloom, brown sludge flooded the place. The vat manager chanced a taste. He didn't survive, but now we've got instant bar slow pace. Accidents happen, it's part of the job. Hats off to our workers who lose hearts on the job. Management regrets your loss, but hey, that's all when
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the...
one recent fiscal year to kick workers into gear. Auntie asked for new stim that keeps minds crystal clear. Test subjects worked all day, but they shit out all their gray. Presenting lift-off laxative parade. Accidents happen, it's part of the job. Hats off to my workers who lose parts of the job. Progress costs an arm, a leg, sometimes even more. But that's what your auto doc discount for. Or accidents happen.
featuring sponsored content that will boost you to the top rung, plus all the news that's fit for listening. This is wireless-free Arcadia.
Valued underlings, your Auntie Cleo needs to spark some combustion under a few listless posteriors. Listen in dreadful anticipation to my latest demotions report, starting with Aster Fiskwich, senior copywriter in invasive marketing, whose sloganeering was a bit too Tau-Ceti for the vibrant Arcadian market. You've gone stale, Aster. We can't exactly skip drive you back home, so you're demoted to Assistant VP of Vending Stock. Let's see if you can keep the Sprat crisps fresher than your advertising copy. Next, Russell Crocker in Morale Management. Dress codes for everyone's benefit, Russ. No shoes, no smock, no whole-side office with an Elysium view. Wear something nice and solvent-proof for your new role as Executive Drainage Manager in Recreant Reclamations and Artificial Additives. Remember, dress for the job you have, Russ. And just to show there's no position too microscopic for Auntie's management, I'd like to highlight Assistant Waste Disposal Officer Potter Flanderbilt for a job not well done. The only airlocks fit for trash disposal are those far from my office. Nothing ruins a view like a constellation of Sistybits bags. Now you're the assistant to the assistant. And that's enough negative reinforcement for now. Until next time, everybody do your jobs like your CEO is watching over your shoulder. Because I probably am. Bye now.
Now, on to other things. Alrighty then, it's well past time for more merry melodies.
We've got your candy.
That's tobacco.
Come taste this candy.
That's tobacco.
If you started young, it's twice the fun.